Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and welcome back to Sentinel Reviews. Today we are looking at Lost Warriors, Volume 3 of Series 1 of the Ninth Doctor Adventures, released in November of 2021, directed by Barnaby Edwards. The Ninth Doctor Adventures Lost Warriors stars Christopher Eccleston as the Ninth Doctor and features, one moment, let me look at the cover to read you the billing, Annette Badland, Don Gile, Anthony Howell, Alex Jennings, with Neve McIntosh and Nicholas Briggs. As always, because I am doing these unscripted, there is a blanket spoiler warning in place. So if you do not want to be spoiled, in the description box below is the link to Big Finish's website, where you can purchase the Ninth Doctor Adventures Lost Warriors. And before I begin, if you clicked on this video, you probably noticed the title says re-upload. At the start of the year, I put out a video of things I wanted and planned to do for 2024. And if you missed it, I'll just say it real quick right here. I reviewed Series 1 of the Ninth Doctor Adventures when it came out. I didn't get to the other sets just because I never purchased them. Not for any particular reason like dislike or anything like that. It's just because of differing licensing agreements, new Who stuff from Big Finish is usually more expensive than classic Who stuff. That's it. But anyway, so I reviewed that first series of Ninth Doctor Adventures, Ravagers, Respond to All Calls, Lost Warriors, and Old Friends, and then I don't know what happened. My reviews for Lost Warriors and Old Friends disappeared. They weren't in another playlist. They weren't unlisted. They weren't private. They were just gone. I searched my channel everywhere for them. It was also really weird because you'd think YouTube would notify you when something like that happens, Like, oh, hey, your video gets flagged for copyright or you've received a copyright strike. They'll tell you. They tell you when you get comments. They tell you when other creators you're subscribed to upload. But nope. These videos vanished without a trace. I was never told, and I didn't know until I went looking for them. And because I don't have the original video anymore, this is my attempt to rectify that. So I'm going to try and get new reviews up for Lost Warriors and Old Friends, just time permitting because of scheduling stuff and other things I'm doing, like Batman Be Vlogged and new Big Finish releases. For example, next month is Missy Series 4 and the first Ninth Doctor Adventure set I will have purchased in a while, Star-Crossed. Anyway, so Lost Warriors consists of 3 stories. The Hunting Season by James Kettle, The Curse of Lady Macbeth by Lizzie Hopley, and Monsters in Metropolis by John Dorney. I contemplated how I was going to do this because if you're a longtime watcher of my channel, you'll notice my style has changed in terms of my Big Finish reviews. Like in the old box sets, I would do separate segments for each stories, but that was back when the separate stories had individual covers. As Big Finish has kind of changed their production and how they put out box sets, everything's now in a single jewel case, all sharing the same cover. I modified my reviews, the format of my reviews thusly. So I kind of ghost over the main points or summarize each story, but really my review is just an overview of the set as a whole. I have decided that I am going to stick to that because I think it would be a little bit more difficult to go back to my old format, since I'm so comfortable in the new format I have decided to do. So before I get into the set itself and the stories, story ranking. I would say my ranking for the stories is reverse order. So the Hunting Season is the weakest, and then The Curse of Lady Macbeth, and then the strongest is Monsters in Metropolis, which, Monsters in Metropolis at the moment is my favorite Ninth Doctor audio, and I'll try to talk about that a little bit. Monsters in Metropolis, the first story, and talk about why it's kind of the weakest. It's just, if you've seen Galaxy 4 or if you've seen A Town Called Mercy, you've seen the Hunting Season. It's that very standard who is the real monster here type of story that Doctor Who does from time to time. Actually, now that I think about it, all three stories are that particular genre of Doctor Who story. The who is the real monster here? It's just The Curse of Lady Macbeth and Monsters in Metropolis do it a little differently, and so that it's not the bog standard presentation of that story. There's some unique elements to them, and I think they're overall handled better. But the one thing that really helps Monsters in Metropolis is the performances, especially from Christopher Eccleston. Like, again, of what I've heard right now, because there have been more Ninth Doctor Adventures releases that I have not heard, I would say Lost Warriors is the set that best gets the Ninth Doctor and really plays into his character. This is kind of a complaint I've heard about the Ninth Doctor adventure sets. They still have their fans. It's been a very mixed reception overall from set to set. But one of the things I've heard about the Ninth Doctor adventures, one of the criticisms I've heard from my friends and mutuals who listen to them, is that they're not a fan of Eccleston's characterization in the set, because the Ninth Doctor adventures are all pre-Rose. They take place before Series 1, Episode 1 of the revival show. I believe I saw somewhere that was at Eccleston's request. Apparently he said that because the Ninth Doctor's arc on TV was so tightly knit, was so succinct and perfect, he didn't want to interject these audios between them and pad it out. Then again, I have also seen too online that he said he would be open to working with and doing an audio with Billie Piper again. So who knows what the story is there. I think, I'm going to speculate here for a second. I think too that part of it stems from just the Ninth Doctor. I don't think, he is good, don't get me wrong. He's one of my favorite New Who Doctors, like top 3, Whittaker, Capaldi, Eccleston. But I think it's just the Ninth Doctor is one of those doctors that kind of has trouble translating to audio. And I think for 2 reasons that are kind of intertwined with each other. The first, the Ninth Doctor is the most subtle incarnation of the Doctor. The Doctor in any incarnation usually is very boisterous, very bombastic, very loud and flamboyant. The Ninth Doctor is kind of the direct opposite of all that, because he is the Doctor coming off the Time War, so he's much more guarded. He's put up these walls, and that's a lot of what Series 1 is after the events of the Time War, he's kind of learning how to be himself after such a traumatic event like that. Like, in the past, I have called the Ninth Doctor the PTSD Doctor, and so much of it is portrayed much more subtly than any other Doctor has ever been portrayed. And 2, I think part of that is that Christopher Eccleston, in a lot of ways, is a lot like Patrick Troughton. He's so much of the Ninth Doctor is Christopher Eccleston. It's not just what he says or how he says it. A lot of it is very visual. A lot of it is very physical, and just going from TV to audio, you just lose something in translation because you are not seeing the Doctor's physicality. So what I say so far in how Lost Warriors best understands or best portrays the Ninth Doctor is that they really pick up, they have found a way to really pick up the more subtle aspects of the Ninth Doctor, and that is one of the stronger points of the hunting season overall. It's just, he is, one of the characters comments on how the Doctor has been in a war, because in the hunting season, the Doctor is in a post-World War, is in a English manor, post-World War One. So, they comment on how, what one of the major side characters comments on, what he sees in the Doctor's eyes. He has the eyes of someone who has seen battle. And Eccleston's performance, as well as Barnaby Edwards' direction, really bring to the surface those more subtle notions, those subtle aspects of the Ninth Doctor's character. Over overall, the hunting season, it's just aliens are plaguing a manor for mysterious reasons, and I feel like I kind of gave away what happened here with by summarizing it as a who is the real monster type of story. The Curse of Lady Macbeth is really interesting. It's the doctor in Scotland, of course, in the court of Lady Macbeth. Now, there are references to Shakespeare's famous play, of course, but this is playing more with the actual history of Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. Like, there are some things I picked up on, like, Duncan was not this old king who Macbeth usurped. He's more of a child king. He's actually a child, at least according to the story. I'm going to kind of ghost over some of the more historical aspects here because I just don't know the actual history of Macbeth. I only know the play, but basically the doctor arrives during Macbeth's war with Duncan and finds mysterious goings on plaguing Lady Macbeth, played by Neve McIntosh, in one of her best performances in a Doctor Who related project. Much like how I feel like, with some exceptions, Leela never shows Louise Jameson's full potential as an actress. It's the same with Madame Vastra and Neve McIntosh. Christopher Eccleston is such a strong performer, giving these powerhouse performances every time. But really here, he is outshone by Neve McIntosh, who is playing this grieving queen, trying to figure out what's plaguing her kingdom. Also, I'm trying to ghost over this one too, because there is a lot of Scottish names here. Like, Lady Macbeth's name is Gruach. She has a son named Lilach. And apologies to any of my viewers who happen to be Scottish. It's why I'm trying to ghost over this. And then that brings us to Monsters in Metropolis, which I think in the promotional material was the big selling point of this set, because, it's something that didn't get to happen on TV. The Ninth Doctor faces the Cybermen. And with a bit of a standard premise, if you think about it, Cybermen on the set of the science fiction silent film Metropolis, like, they're using them in place of what would become the iconic Machine Woman. And there's a lot I really don't want to get into here, because Monsters in Metropolis is beautiful and it is haunting, because, the Doctor arrives in a Germany between the world wars, and a lot of that flavors what's going on in this story. Like, why is the Cyberman here? What are its motives? What's going on with the set of Metropolis? And without giving too much away, there are two ending scenes, one with the Cyberman and then one with one of the major side characters, and they are just haunting. Like, on paper, it's really standard. The Doctor knows World War II is about to happen and everything that comes with it. But the way it is written by John Dorney and the way Eccleston plays it, it's the first time I heard it, it left me speechless. And two, this is one of Nicholas Briggs's best performances as the Cybermen. Like, I feel like, much like the Daleks, when he gets to do a special Dalek, like the Dalek like, what was that Dalek called? The Dalek Time Controller, the Dalek Strategist, or, when he gets to play a special kind of Cyberman and not the standard kind of Cyberman, I feel like that really shows off Briggs's talent better than, just what he normally gets to do. I don't have much to say. Lost Warriors is a standout of the Ninth Doctor Adventures range. If you're going to get any single release in the Ninth Doctor Adventures, I do recommend getting this one. Heck, I got the limited edition vinyl that I have stored, otherwise I would share it right now. It's got really strong stories, bolstered by fantastic performances, with Christopher Eccleston, Neve McIntosh, and Nicholas Briggs all being the standouts. I cannot recommend this set enough. But those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Have you heard the Ninth Doctor Adventures Lost Warriors? What? Please start a conversation in the comments below. And remember to like, comment, subscribe. Click the bell next to subscribe to get notifications when I upload. Please share the video around. All of it helps my channel grow. And in the description box below, you'll find the link to my socials where you can follow me and get updates on the channel. This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and I'll see you guys next time.